This is a story that I heard of and found some information on the internet. So I went on my own adventure to seek out the location, and let me tell you, this place is creepy at night. I took some photos of the area for this story, so without further ado, on to the story. Cape Kyoda is easy to miss. It's just a narrow stretch of rock, jungle, and sand reaching into Nago Bay like a small finger. Most people driving along Highway 58 don't even glance at it. Their eyes are drawn to the open water, the calm, endless blue. But hidden on that quiet cape, something once stood that didn't belong there at all. An English-style house. It was built in the 1950s by a missionary who came from overseas, funded by donors who believed in his vision. Materials, workers, everything had to be shipped across the ocean. It was a strange sight against the Okinawan landscape. When the house was finished, he brought his family to live there, his wife and their young daughter. At first, it felt like paradise. The ocean breeze flowed through the house, cooling it even in the heavy summer heat. From the upstairs window, dolphins could sometimes be seen playing in the bay. Behind the house stretched the sea. In front, a tall cliff shielded them from storms. A staircase led to the top, where a small rose garden bloomed. Their daughter loved the beach most of all. She would wander along the sand collecting hermit crabs. She laughed as they shuffled along with their borrowed shells. "This one has its home on its back," she once said. It was a peaceful life, at least in the beginning, but things didn't go as planned. The mission struggled. Plans for a hospital fell apart. Even a small school failed to attract students. Day by day, frustration replaced hope. The dream that brought them there slowly began to crumble. And then, the house began to change. At first, it was small things. The back door would be open in the morning. It didn't matter how carefully it was locked. Some mornings it would still be standing wide open, as if someone had walked out into the night. They tried to ignore it, until the storm came. One night, heavy rain pounded against the house. Thunder rolled in from the ocean. Unable to sleep, the woman got out of bed to check the windows downstairs. That's when she saw her. A girl was standing outside the back door, staring in. She was completely soaked, her thin clothing clinging to her skin. Rain streamed down her face, but she didn't move. She just stood there, watching. Concern overrode fear. The woman hurried to the door and opened it. "You shouldn't be out in this weather," she said. The girl spoke softly. "Please, hold my baby." Only then did she notice the bundle in the girl's arms. Without thinking, she reached out and took it. It was light, too light. She pulled back the wet cloth to look inside and dropped it instantly. The bundle wasn't a baby. It was filled with crabs. Dozens of them. They spilled onto the floor, their shells clattering as they scattered in every direction. She screamed. When she looked back at the doorway, the girl was gone. No footsteps, no sound. Her husband came running, but by then the floor was clean. Not a single crab remained, not even a trace. He told her it must have been a dream. She knew it wasn't. A week passed. The sky had been clear for days. One afternoon, she sat in the rose garden above the cliff, trying to calm her thoughts. The air smelled of salt and flowers. Then she looked up. The girl was standing there, drenched, just like before. No rain had fallen for days, but her clothes clung to her as if she had just stepped out of a storm. In her arms, she held the same bundle. "Please," she said again, "take my baby." This time, the woman didn't move closer. She ran, locked herself in the bedroom and refused to come out for hours. She begged to leave the house, said something was wrong, something unclean, but leaving wasn't an option. That night, nothing happened, but the next morning their daughter was gone. At first, it didn't seem strange, but she wasn't anywhere in the house. Panic set in quickly. Then the footprints were found, small prints in the sand leading away from the house toward the water. At the shoreline there was only a glass jar. Inside it, a few hermit crabs crawled slowly against the glass. The footprints ended at the sea. There were no signs of struggle. No body was ever found. The ocean gave nothing back. After that, the family disappeared from the island. The house stood empty. For years, people avoided it. Locals warned their children to stay away. But eventually, others came: soldiers, travelers, thrill seekers. The empty house became a place for late-night parties. Strange things were said to happen there, but no one stayed long. One detail, though, kept coming up: a single song, over and over again, echoing out from the house late at night. Even people out on the water claimed they could hear it drifting across the bay. Years later, the house was torn down. Most of it was cleared away, swallowed by the jungle. Now almost nothing remains, just a fragment of a wall hidden beneath thick overgrowth. But some people still say on stormy nights you can hear music, faint, distant, carried on the wind, the same song, playing again and again.